This is Respawn Machine. Hope everyone's doing well tonight. I am here with my cat, my co-host, my cat, as usual. And we're gonna play some spooky game. Which I did not call up ahead of time because I'm getting better at using the mouse left-handed, I do have to say. Like, this is very difficult a couple days ago, but I'm just flying around with grace of ease right now, and it's pretty great. All right, here we go. Oh. Okay, I probably should have done this ahead of time. Night? Hi, Night. Thank you for that host. How are you? Ah, yes. Okay, hold on. I can fix this. Wind setup. Here we go. $640 by 400. Save and run. Did I do it full screen? Oh, no! Didn't mean to do that! Okay, now I wish I could use my right hand. This is kind of annoying. But Knight says, PP. PP to you too, Knight. What? I'm working on it. Okay, let me do... Sorry. Having difficulty with this one. Okay. Maybe. No, this is weird too. Damn it. All right. Okay, hold up. I almost got this. Let me close this one. Close window. I'm sorry, friends. Please forgive me. Run in a window. Yep, okay. Save and run. There we go. And... what the heck? Streamlabs, why? Okay. Okay. Yay! I got it. Okay, we're good. It says pasta sauce. Very good. All right, let me just fix this left-handedly. I got this. I'm a professional streamer. I have got this. Don't worry, everybody. Good enough. Okay. And... perfect! All right. Sorry about that, everybody. Hi, Siri. Welcome. How you doing? How's your week going? Hello, Mud Drinker 1951. Welcome. How are you? And Zia's here. Hi, guys. Welcome in. Please forgive my discretions, my Streamlabs discretions. All right, we're going to start 7 Days of Skeptic, which is the sequel to 5 Days of Stranger, which I just finished. I hope this one is as good as I remember it, but I'm pretty confident it will be. All right, let's start game. Start. Not sure if I'm supposed to have sound right now. Hold on. Somebody's a hot mess. It's me. This is weird. Are you guys getting sound? Huh. Okay. I get the feeling there should be sound. So that's very odd. But now I'm not sure. Anyway, hey Jibsy, welcome. I'm trying to figure out if there should be sound right now or not. And if I should be reading this, but I don't want to read it, if you can hear me and white noise. Okay. Strange. Okay, now I'm like, did Streamlabs do that thing where it turns off my filters again? Because that could be, oh no, wait. No, I got one filter. Okay. This is very Very odd. Let me take a look at Streamlabs, see what's going on here. Bizarre. White noise is the mic crust. It's the mic crust. Wait, what? I sound fine though? I don't know. Anyway. Oh yes, Zia, please enjoy. Please enjoy. This is bizarre. Okay. I'm gonna let it run for a minute. Maybe there's just no sound yet. That's possible. Okay, it definitely seems like there should be. Okay, there we go. There's sound. I didn't read any of that. The scout ship Mephistopheles. There we go. It went by really quick. I hope. Yeah. Earth date. July 27th. A date I missed. Good. I'm just gonna let you guys read that one. Alright. So, like, already kind of a graphical update from the last one. But still, it's got that, like, really clean, simple look to it. I love it. I'm excited. Earth Day in another galaxy. Exactly. Yes. Are you familiar with this game, Mud Drinker? Sometimes I get the feeling that I don't belong here. I mean, I'm here, on the ship, surrounded by all these veterans. And I'm terrified that someone will notice me and say I'm on the wrong ship. I keep having this weird dream that I'm in a room full of people with green skin. And they just watch me, wondering what I'm doing there. And then one of the green people turns around, and he's my father. Does that distress you? Not really, though I do feel kind of embarrassed. What do you think, John? What do I think? William, I think you're just letting things get on top of you. I mean, ship's physician on an exploratory scout ship, that's a pretty heavy first posting. Physician, there we go. No one expects you to do anything other than your job. I suppose you're right. I'm a counselor. I'm always right. Heh. Well, sorry to have barged in on you like that. Oh, don't worry. That's what I'm here for. I'd better get back to sickbay. Thanks, John. All right. Okay, so got all that solved. I'll read that stuff at the beginning. I think next time maybe, because I missed it because Streamlabs. Anyway, 7 days of Skeptic. I got to come up with new voices for everybody. Oh man! All right, let's look at. Yes. Okay, this is much better. My diploma in human psychology and my license to practice it in an enclosed spaceship environment. What does this one say? Desk. My desk, containing all the files on the crew and their mental well-being. Alright, once again, if I was playing this by myself, I would totally, like, click through and, like, read everything. But right now, I don't think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm just gonna look at the interesting stuff. And not, you know, like, get descriptions of chairs. Which I would do on my own. I'm sure gazing into space was amazing for the first people to leave Earth. But for me, it's now getting a little samey. That means he's not allowed to practice it outside the ship. Indeed. Can't practice it on the surface of a planet, just on a ship. That'd be kind of funny. This is a ship-wide announcement. All personnel report to the conference room on the ops deck. By order of Captain Chahal. Oh, hey, John. Adam. What's this all about? Beats me. Maybe somebody died. Oh boy, I'm defaulting to like the two voices I do. Good. My normal voice and... Oh wait. Right then, boys and girls. Serena and I have a little announcement to make of something we think you should all know about. thought you were already married. Yes, yes, very witty. Fact is, the scanners have picked up something floating in open space. Something manufactured. Serena? Thank you, Captain. If I could draw your attentions to the tabletop. The object is constructed of a metallic alloy and seems to be rectangular in shape. Oh wow, first contact. Let's not get too excited. It's more likely to be a human artifact left adrift for a long time. What else do we know about it? It seems to be some kind of container. The right sort of size to be a cryonic escape pod. Sensors don't show any life signs inside it, though. Did you inform High Command? Yes, sir. They recommended we drop a beacon and leave it for a fully equipped research vessel. Just a recommendation, not a direct order. Yes, sir, but... Adam, use the grappling claw to bring it into the cargo bay. It'll be in range for the next few hours. Right out, Chief. Okay, everyone else can go back to what they were doing. We'll let you know if we need any of you for anything. Just a minute, John. What do you think of this? I guess I won't know what to think till it's brought in. Yes, yes, quite. You know I'm going to need you there when we're examining it. No, I didn't know that. Come on, John. This is basic procedure. You should know this. This is potentially a first contact scenario. Regulations say a qualified psychologist must be on hand for first contact scenarios. Okay, sure, but I'm not sure what use I'd be. You really need to stop depreciating yourself. Adam should be done bringing it in soon. Stop by my quarters for a chat if you like. Help pass the time. Nimagria, welcome! I am playing the Trilby Saga. The Chzo... Is it Chzo? Chzo. Let's go with that. It's probably not how you pronounce it, but yeah. Chzo Mythos. I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty excited. I haven't played this one in... Oh gosh, I don't know, probably... almost a decade? I just got through 5 Days a Stranger, and 5 Days a Stranger was great. And, yeah, like I was a little worried it wouldn't hold up, but it totally did. I'm pretty happy about that. Anyway, how you doing? Welcome in. All right, let's see. What does this say? Also, once again, I should announce I am using my left hand still, so I'm a little iffy on the aim here. That's why. Conference room, okay? You still go back and rewatch these games. Oh, nice. Just started. Literally just started this one. And I'm excited. Wait, I can get this? I can get this plaque? There we go. Nope! Come on, left hand. This says... Bridge. Okay. Ooh, there's a chart map. Yes. There's a lot of places. Okay. Okay. What does this say? Denotes that this is the operations deck. Cool. I'm gonna go back in here. Why not? Maybe I should play this full screen next session. It might be easier for me to aim. If I've got a larger space to work with. I have it in the tiny window at the moment. It's the conference table with built-in tabletop plasma screen. All right, we'll go back out. Hey, it's free beer. Hello. It's a space one. Yes, I did beat the first one yesterday, and it was good. Yeah, just booted this one up. I'm excited. This one has one of those moments of horror that has stuck with me. I'm excited to get to it again. I'm gonna talk mouth. Serena. Oh, hello, Dr. Somerset. Enjoying your work? Oh, yes, thanks. Is this your first posting? No, I was on a cargo transporter before this. This must be a bit of a change of pace. Yep. What do you think of this alien artifact business? Personally, I don't think it'll turn out to be much. It's the captain's attitude that surprises me. He completely ignored a recommendation from High Command. I know how he'd feel if I ignored one of his suggestions. Overjoyed, probably. What? Nothing. What do you think of the captain? He's a nice person. But confidentially, he seems a bit unprofessional. Why's that? Well, he gets agitated when I call him sir. He keeps asking me to call him Barry. It's not what a captain should be like. Is that console as complicated as it looks? Not to me. But then, I spent 4 years learning how to use it. I see. Nothing you'd like to talk to me about? If I think of something, I know where your office is. Of course. Well, I'll see you around. Bye. Where does this door go? It's been a while since you played these, but you remember liking this one best? Yeah, I think you said the other day. Yeah. I'm excited to play Trilby's Notes. I really liked that one. And then the end of 6 Days a Sacrifice is pretty awesome, if I remember correctly. So, pretty pumped. Alright, I will go. Oh, that's right, I can just click instead of having to grab walk or whatever. The interface on this one is just like above and beyond the previous one in terms of interface. Nope, wait. Touch. Go here. No! Key card? Okay. Touch elevator. Go. No! What? Hold on. Why am I having so much trouble with this? Oh, it's because I am on the ops deck. I smart. Okay, observation deck. I will go talk to Angela. I'm gonna do my best Angela impression. We'll see how it goes. Angela, Dr. Somerset, how can I help you? Do you come here often? Usually once a day, generally before bed. I like to have a little moment to myself. Yes. What do you think this object will turn out to be? Probably nothing but miscellaneous space debris. I agree with the captain's actions with regard to it. Better we find out that it is unimportant before wasting a large research ship's time. Okay, so what do you want this object to be? I want it to be nothing important. Federation reports say that there is no life in the Caracas galaxy. If this proves correct, we won't have to update all our records. That's a very practical attitude. Thank you, Doctor. Nice view, isn't it? I thought so once. But now I've spent so much time in space, it loses its wonder. Now I see nothing but clusters of red giants, binary systems, nebulaic dust. Right. How are you feeling? I'm quite well at the moment. Thank you for asking. No problems that require your professional attention. Jolly good. Alright, suppose I should be off about my business. Until later, then. You're a sucker for sci-fi / horror. It's like chocolate and peanut butter. I need to see and play more sci-fi horror, space horror stuff. Like, this is really, that I can think of at the moment, this is really my main exposure to it, I guess. Alright. Door. Look. Lieutenant Commander Angela Garrett. And signed Serena Langley. Is this mine? Dr. William Taylor. Lieutenant Adam Gilkenny and Dr. Jonathan Somerset. I believe that's mine. Panel. Key card. Open locker. Ah, okay. Key card. That's Adam's locker. Oh. I still don't recommend playing this with a left hand. Alright, hold on. Look. Some of my old psychology textbooks I like to refer to now and then. And clothes, I guess? I'll look at clothes. Sure. Some spare clothing. Since the invention of dirt-repellent fabric, nobody needs more than 2 outfits. Oh. Toilet door. Touch. I don't need to right now. Fair enough! Yeah, my wrist is still not great. I'm actually not wearing my brace right now because I forgot to put it on before stream started. I should actually probably go do that. Yeah, I will go do that. Be right back. Alright, got it. Katamari threw it at me and I did not catch it. But I tried. I hope this isn't a long-term thing. I didn't actually go to a doctor for it or anything. Because, I don't know, if you can kind of, you know, like if you apply a bandage and it stops bleeding, it's that same kind of logic where if, like, put on the brace and it stops hurting, and there's a pandemic out there right now, then might as well just try the brace for a bit, I guess. That's our thinking anyway. Hatch. It's an entrance to the maintenance tunnel on this deck. I don't know where the ones on the other decks are. Counter. Look. It's just a counter you sit at while eating. The seats are close together to encourage sociability. That's the food dispenser. It takes material from the garbage processor on the deck below and converts it into edible matter with nanomachines. Ah, nanomachines! Thank you, nanomachines. I'm not hungry at the moment. Alright. And communal deck? Let's go in here. Ooh! Arcade machines! I love this game, but I can never work out what to do with the disembodied brain in a jar. That's fair. That is pretty confusing. Centipede. I've seen Adam play this for hours. I like the idea that there's, like, arcade cabinets on a spaceship. It's a nice touch. It's just, I don't know, it's kind of funny. We lost the darts months ago. Don't need anything from here. Let's just stay here. Yeah, just hang out in the game room spaceship. Why not? Oh, hey, it's William. I will talk to William. William? Oh, hello, John. That's his voice now. How are you feeling now? Better, I think. Talking to you helped. I would like to come and talk again in the future. Sure, just come track me down. That's what I'm here for. I basically gave him the same voice as Simone. Great. I don't know. Anyway. What do you think of this alien object? To be honest, I'm not that bothered. I'm just the physician. There we go. It won't matter to me unless someone injures themselves on it. Did I already ask him this? How are you feeling now? Better, I think. Talking to you helped. I would like to come and talk again in the future. Yeah, I did do this already. Okay. What are you doing there? Just reading some scientific papers someone sent to me. It's incredible what they can do with nanites these days. Over my head, I'm afraid. Alright, I'd better get back to work. See you later. Hey, Bri! Well, what do we have here? This is 7 Days of Skeptic. It is the sequel to 5 Days a Stranger that I played over the past 2 days. And it's in space. It's pretty good. How you doing, Bri? It's a therapeutic massage chair. The captain spends a lot of time here. Can I steal meds? Can I steal medicines? Do they have illicit substances in space? I'm just kidding. I don't actually want them. I just want to see if I can take them. And I can't. Look at you passing games and taking names. I know, right? That's me. I mean, the first one doesn't actually take that long. I remember taking forever on it when I first played it, probably like a decade ago. But yeah, it was pretty quick this time around. It was good. This noise! Oh my god! This noise! It's been over a decade, and this noise fills me with anxiety. Holy shit! Oh my god! I haven't heard this noise in so long, and yet I'm immediately like, oh no, okay, jeez. Alright, it's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a good time. Hey, Maximus, welcome! Welcome in, how you doing? The pseudo-legendary me. I just blanked on the word. Infamous. Why would I blank on that word? Anyway. Of course it doesn't take long when you use a guide. I only used a guide a little bit, Bri. Also, it's a pretty short game. Passive games does sound painful. That is, I will give you that. Especially if it's in disc. Alright. It's going well. It's going well. How about yours? Oh, well, you just said going well. How's my night going? Yeah, it's going well. Excited to be playing this game. And, I was watching Arrested Development and chilling out before this, and it was good. Yeah. Doesn't look very comfy, but then I don't think they're supposed to. I think this is like the prison bay? Oh, the brig force field. Okay. Lever. Touch. Ooh. Handy. You like the Master Chief Collection? Wait. The Master Chief Collection? What is that in reference to? I'm like, am I being daft or did I miss something? Yes, okay, this noise. This noise. Damn. I'm reliably informed that this is what keeps the ship ticking over. Touch! I'm not putting my hand anywhere near it. That's fair. That's probably a smart idea. Oh! Okay. Yep, I see. I'm just being daft. You're playing that? You were doing a legendary run. Nice. Hey, Deku? Welcome. This man's was with you. Awesome. How you doing, Deku? Deku? Did I say it wrong? I probably did. I apologize. Good, how about me? Yeah, good. Can't complain. Playing this game for the first time in probably a decade, and that's pretty cool. Yeah, all good. It's the panel that controls the cargo bay door. Alright, I don't actually know what I'm supposed to be doing right now. That leads into the operator's booth for the external grappling claws. Can I use it? Touch. Not allowed in there. I wonder if I just have to go to bed at the moment. It's an airlock. Yeah, I might just have to go to bed. In-game. Deku is a man of many faces. One of those is a bully specifically to bully me. I see. One of those friendships. Yes, very good. John, please. You need to leave this space. Is it this way? Okay, yeah. I don't know who Trent is talking about. Good. Good stuff. Alright, residence deck? Yeah, I guess I'm gonna try going to sleep. Key card. And bunks. Which one is mine? I sleep on the bottom, Adam takes the top. Okay. I'm not tired. Oh, okay, what am I supposed to be doing? Cancel. Cancel. There we go. Okay. What is question mark? Okay. I guess I'm just gonna mess around with stuff until... Yeah. Touch sofa? No thanks, half the springs are broken. I see. Okay. Alright. What was through here again? Is this my office? No, this is food counter. Touch counter. I don't have anything to eat at the moment. Talk to dispenser. It won't reply. Okay, that's fair. I'll look at the map again. Alright. I wasn't done with it! I wasn't done with the map. Okay. Alright. Maybe I'll go back to the second floor down. See what's up there. You know it's off topic, but you beat Doom Eternal over the weekend, and it damn near broke you. Oh my gosh. Well done, Free Beer. Well done. How was it? I mean, other than it almost breaking you. Still fun, I assume? Do I still do day shift? At the moment, I've kind of taken a break on day shift, Maximus. Actually, should I go with Maximus or Trent? Because I know Trent is your real name, right? But I'm so used to calling you Cyro. Anyway, I'll go with Trent. Yeah, I'm just taking a little bit of a break at the moment for October. My intention originally was to do slightly longer night shifts and kind of leave day shift for November because everyone wants spooky content in October and, maybe do slightly longer spooky night shifts. I mean, night shifts always spooky. I don't know what I'm talking about. And then, of course, the first week of October, I fucked up my right wrist somehow, which is so good, so fun. And then this week, yesterday was my birthday, and it's been a weird week. A good week, but a weird week. I don't know. So October's been weird so far. I will get back to day shifts eventually. I don't know. I just also need to find what I want to do for day shift, if that makes any sense. Because I played Metal Gear, and then I played God of War, and Metal Gear felt like a game that was good for day shift. God of War, not so much. I just need to find, like, what is the thing I'm doing during day shift, other than just playing whatever retro game kind of catches my fancy. So, we'll see. Alright, maybe I need to go back to work? Let's see. Touch desk. I'm finished with work at the moment. Okay. Touch seat. Not in the mood for a sit down right now. Okay. You liked it very fun, but very hard, and you were playing on normal difficulty. Oof. Yeah. Okay. I get that. It does look very intense. Seems like a game I would probably play on easy, because I'm lame. I'm lame, but I'm okay with my lameness. It feels weird when you play a game before other YouTubers and streamers start playing it. Yeah, I'd agree. I can't say I've had that happen too often to me yet, but it might at some point. I don't know. It is weird when I play, like, for Indie Horror Saturday, when I play a game from Itch that's, like, okay, but, you know, not even remotely scary, and then I scroll down in the comments on their Itch page, and there's like a Jacksepticeye video on it or something, and you know, it's like him screaming or whatever, and I'm like, this wasn't scary though, it wasn't even that good. I don't know, I haven't watched any of those videos, so maybe, I don't know, because I think sometimes bigger YouTubers will do like, you know, 3 in a row or something, so I don't know. Anyway, okay. Maybe I just need to talk to everybody? I think? Okay. So I already talked to Angela. I talked to... I forget what her name is. You hope I do indie spooky games this weekend? I hope so too, Free Beer. We're gonna have to see. Well, maybe I can find some... Maybe I can find some point and clicks that I can just do with my left hand. That would be fun. I should definitely do it, even if that's what I have to do. Because it is arguably my favorite stream. It's always a good time. Anyway, in the meantime, alright, maybe I'll try going... There's nobody in here. Yeah, there's nobody in here. I already talked to Serena. I'm guessing these are the captain's quarters. Try talking to door. Try open door. It has to be opened... It has to be opened via the panel, by the door, or from within. Okay. I don't think my card works. Yep. And I don't think there's anything in here. I think this is just airlocks. Or escape pods, rather. Hatch. Yeah. Yep. Control panel for the escape pod. Okay. Man, I really wish I could use my right hand right now. It's one of those things that you don't really appreciate. You don't appreciate the dexterity of your right hand until you kind of have to use your left. All right. Communal deck. Let's see. There's nobody in games room though. Okay. And that's okay. I do seem to remember this part where I was like, I'm not sure what to do. At first. Okay. Key card. Alright. Can I try talking to door? Alright, so I guess not. Plants. Plastic, of course. No real plants survive long in this stale atmosphere. Touch plants. They don't need watering. Okay. Try talking to door. Makes me think of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Oh my gosh. I played a game for Indie Horror Saturday fairly recently where there was a whale that was like on the ground and yeah, just randomly on dry land, and I can't remember if I found it or not, but I definitely looked around it for a flower pot. Part of me wants to say there was one, but at the same time I'm like, maybe I just wanted there to be one. I don't know. Jack and Markiplier put on an act these days. No, I know. People like seeing people scream for whatever reason. It doesn't do anything for me. I just want to be scared for real for once. Just once. Or spooked. That's cool too. Okay. I'm gonna try opening this door. Maybe not allowed in there. Okay. This panel that controls the cargo bay door. Touch. The security locks are in place sensibly enough, and I don't know any override codes. Okay. Alright, maybe keycard? Touch. I could never in a million years open these with my bare hands. Well, not with that attitude. Your son watches a lot of those screaming videos that drive you nuts. Oof. Yeah, oof. I'm sorry, free beer. Yeah, I mean, there's a few guys online that I think can get away with screaming and be funny about it. Like, I enjoy Game Grumps. And Aaron from Game Grumps will start screaming occasionally. But that's usually because he gets himself all worked up, and it's more like him as a person screaming rather than somebody screaming specifically because they're playing something scary, I guess, if that makes any sense. I never really liked the whole, like, oh, PewDiePie screaming at Amnesia, Markiplier screaming at Five Nights at Freddy's, Jacksepticeye screaming at something, probably. I don't really know that much about him. Like, that kind of thing. I don't know. Not my cup of tea. Alright. Where the heck am I going? What if I try... No, I can't talk to myself. Dang it. Goodness. Alright. I'll just go back up to the observation deck for a minute. View with eyes. Okay, admit it. That's pretty. Touch. Even if I could reach through the glass to the outside, I wouldn't want to do that. Alright, you know what? I'm just gonna... Don't judge me, Bri! Gonna look up something real quick. Don't worry about it. 7 days. A skeptic. Select the communal. Wait. Go to the engine deck. Where's the engine deck? Okay. That essentially happens to you like Aaron, then Chad tries adding more fuel to the fire. Nice. Oh, you can call me Judge Judy for sure. Okay, alright, good. As long as we're on the same page. Alright. Huh. I am confused. I am big confused. Go to the engine deck and go right twice. Why is it? I think I already did that though. Yeah. I'll try it again, but weird. You game guide user, you. I know. I'm cheap. Once again, it is one of those things where, like, if if it was just me, I would probably fiddle around for another half an hour, just like, where am I supposed to go? I'm gonna go poke things. I'm gonna go examine all the objects. I'm gonna figure out where I need to be. But like with an audience, I don't know. You kind of want to keep people here and interested, and not like, yeah. I don't know if that makes any sense. Okay, so I followed the walkthrough, but communal deck. Okay, communal deck. Use the desk. Okay, I see. Maybe I just missed something. Anyway, probably used a guide playing this. Got no shame. Yeah. I know that I definitely... I mean, these were some of my very first point-and-click adventure games. So I definitely use guides. I don't remember, like, what extent, but... yeah, I did. Communal. Okay. So I'm supposed to go back here? Just busting my balls. It's all good, Bri. I know. You were watching a show earlier called My Strange Addiction, and this woman was addicted to not only consuming cat hair, but with grooming her cat with her tongue to become closer with the cat. That is repulsive and weird. No thank you. Oh, I'm finished with work at the moment. Okay, but... what? Walkthrough told me to use the desk. Okay. Touch. Okay, this is weird. I brought that with me from the share house I lived in while at college. It's a bit too small for people to lie down on, but it's the thought that counts. I personally do not want to sit on it until it's reupholstered. Great. They kept showing her chewing on tufts. Ugh! That's gag-worthy. My goodness. Gross! Why did you tell me this, Bri? Ugh. Yeah, no, I just brush Tilly with a brush most of the time. Yeah. That's really it. I only eat her for accidentally. Because if you have a cat who has like 90% undercoat, it's just going to happen. There's not much you can do. Used to take pride in solving esoteric puzzle games. 80s games were brutal, but these days, nah. Yeah. Monkey Island. Like the original Monkey Island. And like, I think it was like the first 2 or 3. No way. No way. There's no way I could do that without... that game, I think, is the one I used a walkthrough for most of. Like, as opposed to where I'm able to do maybe like half and half. That one was almost entirely a walkthrough for me. It was just... some of the logic in games like that are very like... what? I beg your pardon? Anyway, through a combination of holographic and force field technology, this game can simulate snooker, table tennis, sabuteo, pretty much anything. What is sabuteo? Can I use it? It's still fun to play on my own. I will look at this couch. A nice place to sit down after a hard evening's air hockey. Great. Because I made it seem like I am as close to Tilly as I could be. That is true, though. I'm pretty sure if I started licking her, she would be really weirded out by that and uncomfortable and might hit me in the face. Not scratch me in the face. She might just hit me in the face. There's a difference. Sometimes Katamari and I will... I mean, you know, she'll like lie down in a little bundle, a little circle, and sometimes you just gotta stick your face in there and just, you know, move your face get your face in her fur, and then she has to like groom her fur because you dared put your flesh against her fur. She hates it. Not really. Okay, so why? All right. Talk to Barry, then go south, use the elevator, communal deck, go right, and use the desk. I did use the desk, unless I am very confused, which is possible. I apologize for that sound. Yeah. Okay. Go to the bridge and use hands on the panel next to the door. Okay. Okay, so I gotta go talk to Barry. Wow, can you believe it? The walkthrough hosted on the game creator's site is way more helpful than one elsewhere. Wow. Amazing. All right. And honestly, Monkey Island was on the easier end of things. Oh my god, folks back then just expected brutal puzzles. Jeez. Okay, so here's my problem, I think, with adventure games that have that line of thinking. And this is gonna sound like a humble brag a little bit, and it is. But I am really good at coming up with like weird solutions to problems. Like, if you need to rig something up, find me like a string and 3 saucers, and like I'm good at that shit. So, which I do think is in part to playing adventure games like this. But on the other hand, sometimes I'll be in a game and I will find a logical, or what seems like a logical solution to something, and it's frustrating when either you can't do it because the game is like, no, those items won't work on that, but it's also frustrating when you just see another solution in the game, if that makes any sense. Like, maybe something you can't even necessarily pick up, but you're like, if you just picked up that thing, you could use it on that thing and be way easier, Like, I don't know if that makes any sense, but that is where a lot of my frustrations with games like this stem from. Not like this specifically, point-and-click adventures. But yeah, just being like, come on. You could just fix it like this, Oh my goodness, Thimbleweed Park was made by the same devs as Monkey Island? Okay, I definitely have to play this now. And I may very well end up playing it if my wrist doesn't get better. I would really like to play... Okay, because maybe somebody else in chat knows this one, since there's a lot of Chzo Mythos fans here. Has anyone ever heard of Donna, Avenger of Blood? Because that is another one I would like to play at some point. That's another, like, old favorite. Who is it? It's John, Barry. That was the wrong voice for Barry. Ah, John, do come in. What's on your mind? Now this woman eating nail polish. Ugh, disgusting. Disgusting. Do it, plus the in-game guide, and the humor is amazing. I will. Definitely. Oh yeah, definitely. Sometimes you're supposed to get inside the dev's head, which sucks. Yes, exactly. Like, sometimes you can't just use what seems like the simplest solution. You have to use a very specific, like, I don't know, like tape a fishing hook to a key, and then you could snag something that's in a crevice and pull it up with a piece of string or whatever, when in reality it's like, I have a stick. I could just knock it out with a stick. You know what I mean? So, or like, I have a stick and a magnet. Do it like that. And you can't. And that is frustrating to me as somebody who's like good at, and I'm sure Katamari can vouch for this, good at like, oh, we have a weird problem. Let me find a weird solution. And then we'll like come back, 10, 15 minutes later with like some weird rigged up piece of junk strapped to other junk that like works for whatever reason. I love doing that. It's really fun. But yeah, I think you guys know what I mean. Thimbleweed Park is great, but Tim Schafer, who was involved in a lot of those LucasArts games, didn't work on it. I see. Huh. And he's the main Monkey Island guy, right? Okay, let me talk to Barry. Do you need me yet? No, not yet. We'll page you when we're ready. Why don't you catch up with some work in your office while you're waiting? What do you think the object will be? I don't want to make any assumptions yet. Personally, I hope it'll be an alien artifact. But really, I'm expecting it not to be. Pessimism is a sensible attitude. That way you can't get disappointed. Huh, yeah. How are you feeling? Well, I'm always content, you know that. You're retiring after this post, right? God, don't remind me. High Command has done so constantly over the last few months. I could have wished for a slightly more memorable final mission. Let's just see what the future holds. Could you remind me what our mission is? Is playing dumb one of your psychological mind games? Oh my goodness! Chip Hunt! Chip? Thank you so much for gifting that sub to Deku. Deku, please enjoy your sub. Chip, how you been? How is everything? You just respawned your sub. Hell yeah! Thank you, Chip. Thanks very much. How are you? Welcome to 7 Days of Skeptic. It's an excellent older game from the early 2000s that I'm playing again for the first time in like a decade. You're friggin' great? That's awesome. That's great to hear. Hell yeah. How long will I be streaming tonight? Probably another hour-ish. Maybe a little less than that. I did want to hang out with Katamari a little bit tonight, but we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. Are you busy at the moment, I'm guessing? Ow, I just scratched my finger really hard. I'm letting my nails grow out for like the first time in years, and they are long and pointy, and I don't know if it's a good idea, but yeah. You're just trying to line up something. Nice. Got it. Let you do my nails. Oh man, I haven't done anything. I've never been like a nail painting person. I find it distracting. Like, I talk with my hands a lot, and I get distracted by like movement out of the corner of my eyes. And so like if I have like purple nail polish on or something, and I'm talking with my hands, and these purple nails are going by like, you know, the sides of my vision, I'm like, what was that? And it's, I don't know, it doesn't go great. Eastern Canada, so that's true. I'll have to grow them a little longer, and then we can work it out. We'll coordinate so that you can reach it. All right. Well, I should get back to work. Drop in anytime you want to talk. It's not like I have much else to do. This is 7 Days of Skeptic. It is a point-and-click adventure game. Oh, yeah, it's right there. Horror from the early 2000s. And this series is one of my very first forays into horror back like a decade ago. There's this, Eternal Darkness, and Silent Hill 2. Not this one specifically, it was 5 Days of Stranger, which is the very first in this series. But yeah, you're on that horror train tonight too. Nice, what'd you play? Or watch? Speaking of 5 days. Oh, was it 5 days? Wait. 5 nights. 5 Nights at Freddy's? Nice. I have never actually played that game. When it first came out, and correct me if I'm totally wrong about this, when it first came out, it was either only on, like, mobile, you know, like an iPad or an iPhone, or we just didn't, like, have money to throw around for, you know, like, 2 versions of the same game on different platforms. But we had it on Katamari's iPad, and I am like an old lady when it comes to touchscreens. Like, I am super bad at using touchscreens. Like, I'm really not. I get very frustrated with my phone very quickly. Keyboards, great. Like, I'm great with keyboard. I can type relatively fast. I can dig into my computer and figure shit out, and figure out system problems for me and Katamari. Haha, I'm decent. But then, like, as soon as there's an issue with my phone or like a form I have to fill out on my phone, I'm like so frustrated. It's really, I don't know, it's kind of goofy, but oh well. Yeah. Your son is obsessed with Five Nights at Freddy's. I think you mentioned that, and he likes Bendy too, right? Oh, you're on night 5, so please come watch 2 nights from now. Nice. Wait, does it go backwards? So you're on the first night. Hell yeah. Definitely come check it out. Yeah, I definitely want keyboard and mouse. It's just so much easier for me. Just like haptic feedback issues and all that jazz, if that makes any sense. I suppose I should take another look through the personnel files in case this is a first contact scenario. Attention, Dr. Somerset. Dr. Somerset, please report to the cargo bay immediately. Then again, possibly not. All right, to the cargo bay we go. Oh, you're just not playing it again until 2 in real life nights from now, because you have work tomorrow night. I see. Gotcha. Bendy and SCP and all that. He's like a mini you. That's kind of cool, though, that you share a love of horror with your son, and I imagine as he gets older, you'll be able to share, slightly more adulty horror. The good doctor has graced us with his presence. Let's get this show on the road. What is it? It's a box, a metal box. Now come on, let's do this by the book. Angela. Thank you, Captain. Examination of unidentified object, 27th of July. Object is rectangular, approximately 2.5 by 4 by 4. Initial scans indicate it being constructed from a combination of lead and base metals. Initial scans also show no radioactivity, biological waste, or other hazardous materials. Are the automatic hazard neutralizers activated? Yuppers. Then I am now opening the object. Wait! There's a plaque on the side of this box. Really? What's it say? Oh god. Here lies John Defoe, finally at rest. Do not disturb his sleep. November... Do not... 1997 is what it said. Then there's a date and a little drawing of a hat. What? I think it might be some kind of signature? Who the hell signs their name with a hat? What do you think, Angela? The words seem to indicate human remains. Ethically, disturbing human remains is frowned upon. We should take it to a better equipped space station and leave it for researchers there. Yes, I agree. This isn't something we should be concerning ourselves with. I'll patch a message through to High Command and explain the situation. So much for first contact, eh, John? I'm a little confused as to how human remains ended up floating across the Caracas galaxy. A lot of people were buried in space around the beginning of the 21st century. I think it was sort of trendy for a while. Even so, to have gotten as far as this galaxy after just a few centuries. Look, don't worry about it, alright? Now, I don't know about you, but I'm turning in for the night. So yeah, I'm not sure if it's November 9th or... I'm guessing it's not September 11th. That'd be kind of weird, because this is... the creator of this game is English, and the dates are Different. Yeah. Uh-oh. God, what a nightmare. Can't even remember what was so scary about it. Anyway, I don't know if... Oh, still cutscene? Yes. That's odd. I can't hear the engines running. Yeah, I'm doing my very best Angela from The Office impression. I don't know if anyone has noticed that. Probably not. It's not amazing, but if I'm going to give her any voice, if I'm going to give a character named Angela a voice, it makes sense to give her the voice of Angela from The Office. So, there you go. Keep that in mind. It's tomorrow somewhere. Yes, exactly. You tried to show your kids Ghostbusters over the weekend, but they thought it was scary. Really? They thought Ghostbusters was scary, but they're not scared of like Five Nights at Freddy's and Bendy and the Ink Machine? Interesting. I wonder if anyone's ever done research on like childhood fears like that and how like... Because I actually thought Bendy had some moments of very scary tension, and I'm wondering if it is one of those things where because it looks cartoony, that maybe the way it looks kind of overrides the atmosphere when you're at a younger age, and then as you get a bit older, it's like, oh, this is actually scary. I don't know. I'm not spitballing here, but it's interesting. You don't get it either. Yeah, it's... Huh. Okay. Weird. I mean, I definitely remember being scared of some weird stuff as a child. Do you remember that scene in Star Wars where Luke Skywalker cuts over the Tauntaun? He cuts it open and then I guess he gets inside or whatever. Me and my two siblings all ran screaming out of the room when that happened. I think we were a little too young for the movie at that time. And still, I'm still very lightly traumatized when I think about... Okay, maybe traumatized is the wrong word, but still a little wary of that scene when I talk about it. Oh, they haven't played Five Nights at Freddy's, just seen some videos. Interesting. Okay. But still, like, there are little kids who apparently do play it. And that does kind of blow my mind a little bit. Kids. Of course, I was a huge weenie as a child, so I don't know. My parents were like, how did you turn out like this? Like, after I made my first film. And it was a horror, and it was really good. Sorry. Once again, humble bragging. No, but I made my first horror film, and I remember one of the, I think he was an administrator. I don't remember exactly. He said to my parents, like, how did she end up like this? And my parents were like, we have no idea. No clue. She didn't get it from us. Yeah, anyway, you saw that in the theater when you were a kid, very squick. Yeah, it was gross. It was gross. That and like, I think Willy Wonka scared me as a kid. And I think like it was the gum scene specifically. Ugh, still don't like that. And then, God, what else? There was, I want to say it was like Lost in Space or something. That was scary. Maybe it wasn't that. There was some movie my parents put on that was like a hokey space movie, but then there's like one scene where an alien is getting like sawn apart, and you don't actually, I don't think you actually see it on screen, but like you see somebody like hold up the tool and go back in the room, and then you hear a bunch of noises, and it was really intense. And I'm sure if I said that to my parents, they would be like, I have no idea. There's no way we would have shown that to you, but it could have just been one of those things that got through somehow. Oh, and then Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. Ugh, scary. Was I having a temper tantrum? A temper tantrum. God damn it, Bri. I don't know what I expected. All right, I'm going to talk to Adam. Adam? John? Why aren't the engines running? It's probably a temporary power outage. Probably? You mean you don't know for sure? I just woke up and it was like this. I'm just waiting for the emergency systems to kick in. The elevator isn't working. Ha, yeah, I know. But if I can't work on it if the doors won't open. The maintenance panel is on the inside. What about the elevator shaft? Hey, you wouldn't be trying to tell me how to do my job, would you? No, if there were a problem in the shaft, I'd know. We have alarm systems, fail-safes, that sort of thing. Could you check all the same? You know your problem, John? You're too uptight. This is nothing but a little temporary power outage. It'll all be working again in 10 minutes. Where's everyone else? How should I know? They could still be in bed on other decks. It's not like they have to explain all their movements to me. Sorry. I'm worried, Adam. Just relax, okay? We just need to wait for the power to come back on. Why don't you sit down and have a little breakfast? How are you feeling? You know me, John. Spring chicken, glasses half full, happy little bunny and all that. Adam, just stop fussing, all right? You're not my mom. I unintentionally picked the best voice for Adam. Oops/yay. I'll see you later. Sure. All right, I'm gonna get food. Touch dispenser. The dispenser is currently set for breakfast. What should I have? I'll do full English. Did I get anything? Oh, yeah. Full English is good. Breakfast. You half expect me to ask folks to tell you about their mother? Yeah. That would be pretty funny, admittedly. That was pretty disgusting. Great. Yeah. I would enjoy that. If that was like an option to ask characters about their mothers. Alright, can I eat this one too, or do I need to hold on to this? I don't remember. Two breakfasts! I hate the butter they serve with these things, so I won't eat it. Okay, well that's better than disgusting. It's that vile whipped butter they serve with the breakfasts. Huh, cool. Touch hatch. It's screwed shut to prevent people like me from ruining the ship. Alright, whose door is this? View. Okay, that is us. I'm gonna ring this doorbell. Nobody home. And nobody home. Weird. Okay. The elevator doesn't appear to be working. We'll go back inside. Okay. Back to my room. What is this? Wrench set. Take. Nice. Don't need to right now. Clothes or books? Maybe I'll try taking books. I don't know if I need these. I've already read them all hundreds of times. That sounds depressing. Alright, I think I gotta go get into this hatch. Alright. Go into shaft! What are you doing? I'm going to the maintenance shaft to see what's wrong with the elevator. Well, if it makes you feel any better. Hooray! Ah. I'm standing atop of the elevator, waiting for it to suddenly start up again and crush me to death with perfect comic timing. I'll look at this object. It's too dark to make out what it is, but it seems to be lodged in the elevator mechanism. Take. It's stuck between two components. Some lubricant might help. Perfect! I have just the thing. Hold on. If I can just get it. Stop twitching! There we go. Okay, I've smeared butter around the components and the object. Take. It's some kind of old-fashioned bladed weapon. Are these bloodstains? I go back into shaft. Alright. Yikes. Yeah. Yikes. Yikes is fair. Alright, can I look at... I'll talk to Adam. Hey, Adam. Adam. John. Gotta love adventure game logic. Oh, yeah. Alright, I'll see you later. Sure. So do I want to examine this machete? Where's my inventory? How do I just want to see. Okay, it's a huge machete covered in red stains. Fun. All right. Gonna take the elevator. And go down to the engine deck. I'm gonna see if it opened. Ah. Uh-oh. It's open. Someone must have opened it during the night. Touch. It's completely empty. I'm not sure if I should be relieved or disappointed. Alright, ops deck. I'm gonna go talk to the captain. Dr. Somerset, is the lift operational again? After some persuasion. What's going on? The captain appears to have gone missing. What? Nobody's seen him since yesterday evening. We were attempting to scan the ship interior when the power went down. The escape pods are all still here, so he must be on board somewhere. Weird thing is, I can't isolate the cause of the power outage. I tried to send a communication to High Command, but for some reason it won't send. Since you're here, could you start searching the ship? See if you can find Adam so he can get the engines back on. He's sulking in the canteen. He's acting odd, like he doesn't care about what's going on. Confidentially, I think he's afraid of something. Well, that's your territory, not mine. Keep in touch. Sure. All right. Back to Adam. Though I guess I could also pop up here. Yep, no one's here. See if William is around. Hey, William. What's happening? William, John. There's some kind of problem with the ship. What kind of problem? Some sort of power outage. All the engines are down. How odd. I did wonder why no one has got in touch. How did you get here when the lifts were down? The lifts were down? I'm afraid I've been here since last night. What? I suppose I just lost track of time. Don't worry. I'll go get some sleep soon. I should hope so. Did you open the box? What box? The one in the cargo bay. The one we brought in? Oh, it's a box, is it? Nobody got around to telling me. And I suppose I was too polite to ask. What was in it? Nothing. Oh. Something of an anticlimax. How are you feeling? Fine. A bit tired, maybe. Why, is there a reason I should be disturbed? Never mind. Have you seen the captain? Not since yesterday, I'm afraid. Is he missing? Apparently. Well, he's a grown man. I'm sure he's entitled to a little privacy. Privacy. I'm sorry. It's privacy, everybody. My bad. Privacy. I'll talk to you later. Sure. All right. Touch door. Look at desk. Hi, Rin. Hello. How you doing? Good to see you. I'm playing the sequel to the game I finished yesterday. It is in space. It's pretty good so far. Thank you, Katamari. All right, residence deck. Go talk to Adam. Talk. Adam? John? Did you know the box is open? What box? The box you brought aboard in the cargo bay. It must have fallen open when it thawed or something. Anything in it? No. Nothing at all. Well, very Twilight Zone. The communicators are working. Any idea what could cause that? Well, if it's not because of the power outage, then it'll be a foreign object lodged in the communication pylons on top of the ship. It's usually an asteroid or something. Can you repair it? Well, this is all speculation, of course. Why don't you go outside and take a look at it for me? I'll give you the airlock pass. Why don't you come too? Well, if it turns out to be nothing, then we'll have wasted both our times. Not to mention the oxygen tanks in the EVA suits. Are you afraid of something, Adam? I beg your pardon? Never mind. Alright, I'll see you later. Sure. They all say sure. You're good? You just ate homemade shrimp fettuccine alfredo. That sounds amazing. That sounds pretty dang good. I'm good. Yeah, can't complain. Hungry all of a sudden. Wow, surprise, surprise. Talk about homemade shrimp fettuccine alfredo, and I'm like, gosh, wow, I am hunger. This seems like a great idea. What, the fettuccine alfredo or the going outside the ship? Because either or, I guess. There we go. All right. Touch. All right, so then I'm going to go, I think, to the engine deck. It's okay, Rin. Sounds tasty. Oh, so I don't know if I mentioned it yesterday. I think I did. I probably talked about it. But I also was, anyway, yeah, yesterday. Katamari got me a dehydrator for my birthday. And I want to try making various types of jerky, including fish jerky. And I feel like, I don't know if shrimp jerky is a thing, but it should be a thing. Closet. Touch. Closet. Eva suit. Touch Eva suit. It's me, the ship's psychologist, going outside. I'm not sure how to implement that. Okay. I should probably save momentarily. The safety lock is in place. Oh. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Okay. No, that's... Hold on. Cancel. Alright. Switch. Okay, now I should save. Save as 1. Cool. Labored breathing. You made a 7.5 ounce turkey burger, then topped it with tzatziki and jalapeno crisps. That sounds great, Bri. I'm gonna add that to the list of things I can make. Jalapeno crisps. I'm excited to dehydrate cheese and then just eat it like a snack. I mean, I already do that, but, you know. Doesn't look too safe out here. I'd better observe all safety precautions. Uh-oh, there's blood over here. Yeah, I have to clip. Clip. Okay, I've safely attached the rail. Also, what does this say? For your own safety, please ensure that your suit is firmly clipped to the safety rail before proceeding. You'd eat shrimp jerky, though? Hell yeah. I don't know if that's a thing, but I want to try it. I also want to try making swordfish jerky and salmon jerky, and I just want to make all the fishes into jerky. I have a ton of fish in the freezer for Tilly food, but I also want to try making it into jerky because now we have a dehydrator. Yeah, I had mentioned wanting one a while back, Rin, and Katamari thought it would be a fun, like, not crazy practical, but slightly more practical gift, if that makes any sense. Like, more practical than, like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I think you guys get what I mean, though. Uh-oh, look at all this blood. Look. These steps lead to the top of the ship. Alright, touch. Okay. Safety rail. Unclip myself from safety rail. Okay, and then clip on this safety rail. Okay, I'm safely attached to the rail. Time to go check out this blood, everybody. You had bacon jerky once and pretty much tasted like chewier bacon. Oh my goodness, yeah. We can make Yeah, Mari, we can make bacon jerky. Woo. That'd be good. I thought you were going to say now you can make astronaut food. Actually, Katamari had mentioned that, like dehydrating ice cream. Just trying that out. That could be fun. You come up with a pun about dehydrators, but you can't get away with dry humor. Oh, Bri. Oh, you. Bridge to Lieutenant Gilkenny. Come in, please. Actually, this is John, Serena. Dr. Somerset? You can't go on Eva. You're the counselor. Relax, I took standard Eva training with everyone else. Well, where's Lieutenant Gilkenny? Adam still doesn't want to move from the canteen. Something seems to have spooked him. This is most irregular. I'm just going to go check out the radio masts and come right back, okay? Well, please be careful. Uh-oh. Dr. Somerset, our scans show that you're on top of the ship now. Can you see what's clogging the radio masts? Dr. Somerset. Dr. Somerset, respond, please. I'm here. Tuesday. The captain is dead. Oh God. How? Someone stabbed him with this machete. He went outside to try and escape from his attacker, but the killer was very determined. This isn't happening. Who could have done this? It could have been anyone. Angela was the last person to see him. I walked with him to the elevator after we examined the locker. The last I saw of him, he was heading for his quarters. Oh yeah? We've only got your word for that. Please, we mustn't stoop to baseless accusations. I know that none of us are capable of this sort of evil. None of us had reason to kill Barry. But there's no one else on this ship. It had to be one of us. There's another thing. The locker is open. How is that relevant? You think the killer was hiding in there? Oh, please, Doctor. I know this is going to sound stupid, but I have a horrible feeling that something was in that box. Something that got out. That does sound stupid. Your argument is unscientific. But for now, if only for morale, I suggest that we proceed on the assumption that we are all innocent. What? There could be a murderer among us right now, and we're supposed to ignore that? Until we can get back in touch with High Command and start a thorough investigation. Oh, I've heard enough. Where are you going? I'm going to my quarters, and I don't want to be disturbed. He knows something. I'm sure of it. Adam, please save it. What are your orders, Commander? We have to get the communicators back online. Then someone will have to move Barry off the radio masts. And it sure as hell isn't going to be me. Lieutenant! It's okay. I'll do it. As you wish, Doctor. I'll get back to the bridge then. Dr. Somerset? Commander? Please be careful. I will, thank you. Hi, Taylor. That was rapid fire voice swapping, everybody. It was okay. All right. Let's see. You just get gift cards to Old Navy's or Kohl's. I mean, gift cards are pretty helpful, though. But yeah, the dehydrator's pretty neat. I always seem to get gift cards to like Bed Bath and Beyond from my uncle, and like where else? Yeah, there was like one place in particular I used to get a lot of gift cards to that I never went to, but for some reason just didn't. Yeah, I don't know. Gift cards. I don't know. I try not to give them out as gifts, but they are pretty useful as gifts too. You would worky that turkey jerky? Turkey jerky would be pretty good. I would be into that. When your bro was a vegan, that's the only thing he would cook with was his dehydrator. Really? Really? Like, just to dry up veggies and stuff? Just don't go crazy and try to dehydrate any hazelnuts. Watch me, Bri. Watch me. I'm sorry, Dave. I can't do that. I have not seen 2001 Space Odyssey yet, because I don't know what my deal is. I'm going to talk to Angela. Commander, Dr. Somerset? Should I call you Captain now? There will have to be a proper hearing when we get back to high command. More likely, another officer of high rank will be appointed. And I must say, I find your remark in poor taste. Sorry. Barry's death was shocking, wasn't it? Indeed. But it is the sign of a good crew to be able to function after such an event. Captain Chzo would have wanted us to strive on, not get bogged down. Do you suspect anyone? Please, Doctor. As a psychologist, surely you can appreciate why I won't answer that question. I suppose so. I really do have a bad feeling about that locker. The locker is old news, Doctor. It was little more than miscellaneous space debris. Do not concern yourself with it. Even so, Barry dies on the same day we bring it aboard. The engines also went down the day we brought it aboard. Are you saying it could have caused that, too? I have no idea anymore. Any orders for me? Your orders are as always. You are responsible for the crew's mental well-being. Anything else you choose to do for the benefit of the ship is entirely up to you. All right, thanks, Commander. Until later, Doctor. Hi, Adam. Adam? Hey, John. Why won't you come out on Eva? I don't need to. You already did it once. You can do it again. It's a waste of effort for me to go. I think you're just making excuses. Why would I want to do that, John? Stop picking on me. There is no shame in being scared, Adam. I'm not scared. Who the hell's scared? I'm just concerned about resources, is all. Sure. Any thoughts on what happened to Barry? There's something shifty going on, I know that. Did you see how William ran off? I'm sure he knows something. That's enough, Adam. I don't like your attitude! This is a time of stress, and we have to all pull together. Cowering could get us all, hey, back off, who are you to judge me? I am not afraid. All right, I'm sorry. I'll see you later. Sure. I call that voice the Drew Gooden sassy voice. I don't know what else to call it. You don't even remember what he would make, but once he tried to make a vegan tortilla on the dehydrator, oh no, what was that? How did that go? Was it just like flour? I don't know. You love 2001, but you know some folks find it boring as hell. I feel like I should see it just because it is kind of like a cultural reference at this point. Culturally significant movie. Let's go with that. But yeah, I could also see how it would be kind of boring potentially. Oh wait, no, I don't want to. Okay, I'm stuck. Wythram, hello. How's your favorite resident horror person? Why, thank you, thank you. I'm doing well. How are you? How's your evening? I am playing 7 Days of Skeptic. It is a early 2000s horror game set in space. And I'm enjoying it very much. In my second time around. Hello, Dr. Somerset. How are you holding up? Not well. I still can't believe he's dead. How are we going to cope without him? I'm sure Angela can get by as commander for now. Angela could have been the killer. Any of us could have been the killer. Any theories about Barry? I'm trying not to think about it. It was one of us. It was obviously an act of random lunatic violence. If it was one of us. And that means it could happen again. I know. Motiveless crimes are always the hardest to investigate. Let's see. You remember it being tasty, but it was lacking a ton of structure? Oh, no. Oh, was it like a cassava tortilla, Bri? Because we have had cassava tortillas before, and they are not good at all. They just kind of like, they don't bend or fold at all. They just kind of snap, I guess, if that makes any sense. Anyway, your brain just heard 2001 and you thought I meant the year. You might have spaced out super hard. I'm talking about 2001 Space Odyssey, but yeah, I understand that. I don't remember when 5 Days a Stranger was made. I think this one, speaking of early 2000s, I think this one is 2004. I think. Can't quite remember. Anyway, and Chronic's here. Hi, Chronic. Welcome. How you doing? Had so much spaghetti and it was amazing. That sounds amazing. Did you have any like good sauces or side dishes or anything? I know Rin just had homemade shrimp fettuccine alfredo, which sounds great. No, I want that. You love seeing. Oh, thank you. Yeah, this is one of this series is one of the very first horror series I ever played, like a decade ago. It's the Chzo Mythos, and if any of you who weren't here yesterday or the day before, because I think I talked about this then too, and there is a bug that will not get out of here, bug. Go away. If any of you are familiar with Zero Punctuation, Yahtzee Kershaw, these are his games. He made these games. He's an amazing content creator who I very much admire. Bug, please, let me thank you. He did these games. He's written several books I enjoy. I don't know, pretty cool. Anyway, Respawn, the resident indie/retro horror streamer. Hell yeah, thanks Siri. It had some great meatballs. Nice. Meatballs are... A good meatball is good. That's a very dumb statement, but I think you guys know what I mean. Like, a good meatball versus like a meatball. Hell yeah. I want Swedish meatballs. I want to go back to IKEA. I miss IKEA. Love IKEA. All right, I'm concerned about the rest of the crew. I know what you mean. Adam and William both seem scared stiff of something, but Angela isn't bothered at all. Dr. Somerset, I'm flattered you want to confide this in me. But you are the ship's counselor, and this is therefore your business. I can't help you at all. No, I suppose not. Sorry, Ensign. Can you send the distress signal yet? I told you, you need to remove the blockage from the radio masts. I'll get right on it. All right, time to go remove a body. I'll see you later. Goodbye, Doctor. That's a good meatball. Yeah, exactly. I did the hands. It was a good meatball. I'm glad. I did the hands again. I do a lot of like hand gestures back here behind the computer screen, and no one can see me do them. I just do them. I don't know. I'm sure that's not that unusual for no cam streamers. Engine deck. Wait, why do we have to remove the dead body? I don't know. Because we're the only person who's not flipping out, I guess. Because Adam doesn't want to go out and remove the dead body. Because Adam is scared. Or something, I don't know. Maybe I should not be as hard on Adam. Mostly I just wanted to say scared. Because it makes me laugh. Alright. Labored breathing. Cancel. There we go. All right, here we go. Clip. Safely attach the rail. Go towards the blood. Unclip. I think if you don't do the clipping stuff here, you actually will float off into space. And then you just get a game over. As your character is like, fuck! And then, yeah, just start from wherever you last saved. Blood. Uh-oh. Dr. Somerset, do you read me? Do you require any assistance with removing the blockage? It seems not. Could you withdraw the masks for a second? Certainly. Serena, the captain's body isn't here anymore. What? It's gone. It must have gotten jarred off or something. When the ship's at a standstill? Anyway, we'll worry about it later. Send the distress signal. It'll take a few minutes for... Clock, thump. Serena? Serena, come in, please. Hell. Time to go back down. I wanna go to, what's down here? Oh. It's a keyring. I can't get a good look over the edge while I'm attached to the safety rail. Alright, I won't worry about that right now. But, that's your next album name, Clunk Thump. Good, I like it. Honestly, at this point, you just hang out on the outside of the ship. Space Evil can't get you there. True. Although, maybe not. Actually, I'm gonna save real quick. Cancel. Save as 2. Alright, and then I'm gonna unclip the safety rail. Okay, I'm unclipped. I'm gonna grab this keyring. It's out of my reach. Use a clip. Got it! It's the card to Captain Cahal's quarters. Good. Now I must clip myself back to the safety rail for safety. Great. Go back up steps. The ship is designed like the Event Horizon, all pointy things and sharp edges. I still need to see Event Horizon, but it is one of those films that's been hyped up for me so much that I'm a little bit afraid of that one. If that makes any sense. Like, I've heard people who have been like, yeah, Event Horizon gave me an anxiety attack, and I'm like, oh boy, I don't know about that. No thanks. I'm sure I'll watch it eventually, though. Like, especially if I could find somebody else to watch it with me who won't be totally traumatized. So, not Katamari, because I'm not an asshole. But, because Katamari does not like horror. And I understand. Alright. Closet. Blasphemy! Yeah. Event Horizon is kind of crap, but you love it? Okay, that's fair. I mean, I get the feeling that it's something I'll watch and then be like, oh, that wasn't scary at all. But still, like, if you talk to somebody and they're like, oh yeah, it scared the literal shit out of me, man. Couldn't sleep for like 3 weeks, then it does definitely build up that hype of like, yeah, I think you guys know what I mean. But I don't know, something about it. No, yeah, Kata does not like horror at all. He has seen a lot more horror because of me. And I don't think he enjoys the horror aspect, but we've definitely had discussions about like plot and that kind of thing. Horror plot. And so there's that. So I think he's got like an appreciation of some of it in that sense. But yeah, no, he's not a horror guy, which is tough for me, but it's okay. I understand. Just watched a movie from 1980. Oh wait, Dr. Somerset. Have you seen Serena? I was just about to ask you that. I was talking to her over the communicator. Then she just cut off abruptly. How strange. The trouble is that a distress signal still needs to be sent. And only she and the captain knew the communication code. Right. Commander, aren't you concerned for Serena's well-being? Should I be? It seems far likelier that she has simply gone to the toilet or for something to eat. I'll go look for her. See if you can track down the captain's codebook, too. Okay. You just gonna stand here? That's cool. You just watched a movie from 1980 called Anthropophagus. Anthropophagus. Words. Cool. Sounds good. You love the atmosphere and the ominous feeling of the whole movie. Nice. I mean, that's the best part of horror, when they can carry that, the atmosphere and the ominousness. Did it. Right, hold on. Let's see. Key card. Touch toilet door. We can watch horror together! The horror lovers unite! That would be fun. Actually. Oh, and your wife doesn't like horror either, Pre-Beer. I see. I was actually thinking, the lock ominousness monster. I love that, though. The lock ominousness monster. That's good, waifu. Well done. Tiny Kappa. I don't know if you guys have seen Ghostwatch ever. I was thinking about maybe doing a Discord movie night, maybe, of Ghostwatch. It is a program that ran on the BBC in, I want to say, early 2000s. I don't think it was like late 90s or early 2000s, that masqueraded as a real, genuine TV, like a BBC special presentation about an extremely haunted home. And there were a few warnings. There was like one, I think there was a warning at the beginning that it was fictional, and they also had a telephone line set up where you could, call into this program, and it would tell, the phone line would be like, thank you for calling into our fictional presentation of Ghostwatch, like that kind of thing. But there weren't enough warnings. And so people saw this thing on TV and they thought it was real. And people flipped the fuck out because it's actually pretty creepy. I like it a lot. I've seen it like twice now. And the problem is that the phone lines, they didn't anticipate the amount of calls they got to this phone line. So the phone lines went down. So there were people calling and getting, busy signals who didn't get the, like, this is fictional message. And because it was only broadcast a couple times throughout the program, a lot of people just didn't see the this is a fictional broadcast message. So it caused a panic in England. And unfortunately, somebody who was already mentally, oh my God, totally off. Yes, Garth Marenghi's Dark Place is amazing. Yes. Absolutely, yes. Anyway, unfortunately, one person in England who had a history of mental issues did kill themselves, and they cited Ghostwatch as one of the reasons, which is awful and tragic. And that, and there was actually some kids who were like really, really upset by the show. Like a lot of people were very upset by this thing that they thought was real. Anyway, it has never been aired since. It's never been on TV because of everything that happened. But it is a really incredible program. Until today. Well, I think it'd be really fun to watch on Discord and just, I mean, obviously everyone who watches it would know it's not a real life broadcast. A, because we're playing it on Discord, and B, because it looks super old at this point. Guess what we're doing next, guy? I don't know. I was thinking maybe closer to Halloween. That could be really fun. I don't know. I also have never really done like a Discord watch party, but it'd be neat. Also, Garth Marenghi's Dark Place is amazing. I kind of want to watch it right now. So good. That would be really fun. Okay. Hell yeah. I will try to sort this out, and maybe we can do that. I'll maybe do my Discord up a little bit. I mean, to be fair, ghosts are real. I have seen ghosts, but yeah, I know it's one of those subjects where people kind of, it's hard to believe until you've actually like run into a ghost or had some weird unexplainable thing happen to you, if that makes any sense. So like, while I believe, I'm not like running around trying to insist, if that makes any sense. Anyway, yes, that would be fun. Both of those things. All right, I'm gonna look at console. It's like, for instance, Kata has never had a ghost experience, and he's kind of like right on that line of like, well, I don't disbelieve you, but I also don't believe in these things. So, and yeah. Anyway, the captain's personal console allows him to perform several functions from his quarters. Cool. Use hands. Welcome back to your personal network interface, Barry. You have no new emails. There are no news items that match your preferences. Enter help for available functions. Help! Oh, I have to hit OK. Wait? Yeah, no, I do. Standard commands. Help. This screen. Email, news, date, captain, menu, exit. All right, let's do email. Check it, the email. Sorry. That was... All right. Help. Okay. News. Help. Date. So I can finally get the date. It's the 29th of July, 2385. Cool. Help. It's cool to know that Earth made it that long. Good stuff. All right. Wait, menu? What is menu? Welcome back to your... Oh, okay. Captain. Please enter your 6-digit override code to access intra-ship functions or type menu. Wait. The director/writer of a movie you just watched and liked your tweet. Very nice, Bri. What movie? No ghost experiences for you, but you've had demon experiences, and that's close enough for you to be like, yep, I believe in ghosts too. Oh, damn. That is intense, Rin. Jeez. All right. The Wolf of Snow Hollow. And it was good? Maybe I will have to check this out. I have had ghost experiences, but I'm not going to get into them tonight just because it's emotional, and I've had some anxiety over the past couple days, so I'm just trying to be like happy stuff all the time. Yeah. So, yeah, you know, like you do. Mainly technical texts and a few classic novels. But I'd be happy to talk about my ghost stuff some other time. Nothing of interest. All right, what is this? Look at the book. Looks like the captain's code book. Wow, how convenient. He just leaves it lying around. Thanks, Captain. Take. Okay, that sounds good, Rin. We will share. For sure. Alright, so I need to look at codebook. I need to wait. Alright. Alright. Helpo. Okay. Captain. Maybe it'll just input now that I have the book. I don't know. Captain. Okay. Alright, well. Console. Codebook. Alright, maybe I can give it to Angela. Thank you, Rin. Yeah. We'll talk about him at some point. I'm just Is this what we need? Yes, that's the captain's codebook. Find the communication authorization code and read it off. Here we go. 11772. Thank you. This is First Officer Angela Garrett of the EFS Mephistopheles. Attention all ships in the immediate vicinity. We are in urgent need of assistance. Over. Officer Garrett, this is Captain James Linderman of the EFS Charisma. What is the nature of your emergency? Over. Engines dead by unknown means. Captain Barry Shahal has been murdered. All crew members currently suspects. Over. Acknowledged. We are 5 days travel from your current position. In the meantime, sit tight, boys and girls. Over and out. There. Soon we'll be picked up and this will all be behind us. 5 days? We have to sit and wait for rescue for another 5 days? When there could be a psychotic killer on board? Previously, Doctor, we were going to sit and wait for rescue indefinitely with a psychotic killer on board. We should be grateful that events have improved, however marginally. John, Commander! I just saw the captain. You found his body? No, I saw him alive. He was down in the engineering decks. He was walking funny and his clothes were all covered in blood. Lieutenant, the captain is dead. We all know that. I'm telling you what I saw. Adam, are you absolutely sure you saw what you say you saw? I mean, is there absolutely no other explanation for what it was? I don't know. Probably. Counselor, perhaps you should escort the lieutenant back to his quarters. But I saw. Lieutenant, there's no logical explanation for your claim. You are obviously just tired or overstressed. Let's go, Adam. What was that all about, Adam? The captain is alive, John. Damn it, Adam, Barry is dead. I'm the one who found his body. Barry Tahal is dead, yes, but he isn't our captain anymore. What are you talking about? This ship has a new captain, John. Adam! Wednesday. Well, gentlemen, the distress signal has sent. All we can do now is wait. Where's Serena got to? I'm not sure. She did not come back to our quarters yesterday evening. Oh, God. This is going to turn out badly, isn't it? We have to remain optimistic. It's all very well just saying that. Sorry I'm late. Doctor, nice of you to join us. Yes. What were we talking about? Serena is missing? I was out on Eva checking on the radar masts. I heard some odd noises over the comms, like sounds of a struggle. When I got back in, she was gone. Oh, really? Is anyone else seeing a sort of pattern emerging here? I beg your pardon? Well, far be it from me to raise this, but you were the one who found Barry's body. And now you have first-hand experience of Serena's encounter, too. Does anyone else think that this is a bit coincidental? Now wait a minute. Oh God, just shut up, William. I've got records of all the communications on board. They show with no doubt that John was outside when something happened to Serena. Oh, I'm so sorry, John. Forget it. I mean it. I was totally out of line. I'll, get back to the sickbay. The doctor seems to be getting worse. It can only be a matter of time before he cracks. We just have to hope we can all hold on for 5 more days. Still seems mighty suspicious to me. Adam, please, don't. I suggest we begin searching for Serena. There is still a chance that she is perfectly all right. All right, cool. On that show you were talking about earlier, now a woman loves to eat cat food. What kind of cat food? On my way, don't die. Sit tight. Yeah, yellow hair guy is kind of sus. Agreed. Tilly's food. Tilly eats really fancy cat food where, like, I've opened cans and been like, huh, this doesn't smell too bad. Like, it's like whole, you can see the meat, that kind of thing. Like crunchy, ew, okay, never mind. Hi, buddy. Now she's yawning at me. All right, guys. All right, boys and girls. I think this is probably a good, sorry, not now. No saving? Is there a, maybe there's a cutscene. Oh. Oh, wait. Take machete. I'd better not touch it. It's evidence. All right, maybe I can go through the door here. Serena? Uh-oh. Question mark. Can I save now? Yeah, okay. All right. And that is where we're going to stop for the night. Because I'm actually very hungry. And not for cat food. Probably for ice cream or something. I don't know. We have some good stuff in the house. All right, let us see. Let's see. Ooh, I know. We are going to go over and we are going to raid Lovelini. It'll be a good time. And yeah. Hell yeah. Thanks, guys. Thank you for being here. I love these games. This is really fun. Thank you, Rin. Thank you for being here. And Bri and Chronic and Free Beer and Chip and Wythram and Nimagria. All y'all. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you. Update. She only eats calf. Oh, God. All right. Well, with that. This has been the Night Shift with Respawn Machine. Thank you for being here, friends. I hope you had a good time. I certainly did, and I hope to see you again soon. Take care, and good night.